So you had a moment of realization that you are not living the life you want. You're not where you want to be. Here's the fact. Different choices equal different results. And if you will start today making different and better choices, in just a few weeks there will be noticeable changes, and in 6 months you can literally reinvent yourself. Are you ready to make changes? Here are 3 things you can do to make it happen. Welcome to Morning Tea. There's a basic formula to this. It's nothing new, but as humans, we have a propensity to forget, to fall back, to get mentally and emotionally stuck. So the first thing we have to do is we have to realize the possibilities. We know the brain can be completely rewired at any age. Stroke victims have learned to speak again, utilizing the power of music to create new neural pathways. And we can also reinvent our health. We know that if you quit smoking, the lungs will show improvement in just a few weeks, with the capacity for complete healing. If you've watched a season of the History Channel's Alone, where the world's top survivalists compete to the last person standing, you'll see that every competitor has lost all body fat by 30 to 90 days. It's an equation, really, that if you will restrict your calories and do nothing but lie on the couch all day long, you will lose weight. Of course, you don't want to go about it like that, but there can be significant healthy weight loss in a short period of time. Number 2, we must identify the deficit. In coaching, every one of my new clients gets a whole life circle. So we can take a bird's eye overview of the major areas of life and see where there may be an imbalance. Getting to the new you or a new destination or any big change only happens in small, measurable steps where we can experience accomplishment. And that helps us to build hope that the big picture really is achievable. You can download this chart in the description below, but let's take a look at a few of the segments. It's rather extraordinary how many individuals, successful CEOs and entrepreneurs do not understand their finances. It is so critical that you know your cash flow, how much money is coming in, where it's coming from, and where every penny is going. So if financial problems are preventing you from moving forward, then you're going to have to dig into the numbers trench, and you're going to pull out your receipts and pull out your statements and get it straightened out. As part of this analysis, it's good to look at your disaster preparedness. When the pandemic hit, those living paycheck to paycheck with no savings or no plan were hit the hardest. So a disaster plan is an important part of your financial health. Next, are you developing in your craft and continuing to grow creatively? This is important because in the creative realm, there are no boundaries. There's no limit as to where we can go and what we can imagine. A creative mindset helps in all facets of life to think outside the norms, outside of your regular ways of doing things. There are answers to all the questions, and a creative mind helps you to figure it out or to find ways to get those answers that you need. Creativity also is a wonderful outlet for negative emotions. Again, a session at your musical instrument can banish bad feelings, and mild depression can disappear. You can clear your head. What is your creative outlet? What are you practicing at every day? Intellectually, are you growing? Reading, taking courses, learning new things, getting new information. Remember, there's no standing still. If you're not growing, you are stagnating and sliding backwards. What is the condition of your faith? What is your purpose in life? Without a growing faith and relationship with God, then for certain we will live and we will die, and that can take you a long way, but life comes with many trials and troubles and heartaches where happiness vanishes, and where most people at some point will say, I wish I'd never been born. But with a purpose greater than ourselves, no matter what is going on in the world, wars, plagues, depressions, whatever, we can have an abundant and meaningful life with days that matter, as well as the hope of a beautiful eternity beyond this short life. The relationship section is broken into a couple of segments. This would include your spouse, your family, your community, because we are not designed to be alone. And I'll go back to the Alone series, where we can see over and over the breaking point for so many contestants was not lack of food or the cold, it was being away from loved ones, the loneliness.
And it's freaking me out.
You wonder if the people in your life really know how much you love them.
Isolation certainly took a toll and took people out of this competition.
So are you nurturing your interpersonal relationships? Do you have a good community of associates where there is mutual encouragement and a building up of each other? Or are you involved in relationships that poison you, that work against you and your purpose, that leave you drained, and hurt. You'll need to back away from destructive and abusive situations or learn how to better navigate the ones that are just unhealthy. After you have sufficiently analyzed the whole life circle, decide on the areas of deficit where it's the greatest struggle for you. The ones that are a mountain in front of you that you can't get around. What are those 1 or 2 things to start with that are holding you back and keeping you down? And that will lead to number 3. You have to have a plan. If I want to sail to Fiji, then I have to put the bow in that direction. I have to study my charts. I have to see what supplies I'm going to need to get there. You're going to have to get something down on paper, and it can be as simple as a short list or a really in-depth plan, depending on the sort of person that you are. A vision statement can be a really great first step if you've got a business idea in mind. You can download my 4-color 13-page vision statement from the link in the description below. This asks a few important questions to get your mind working and focusing on the idea and the common questions that come up when you're starting a new business. But there has to be specific, actionable goals that you can implement and check off the list as done. So here's an example for a system for change. Let's say that the plan is to pay off a debt, and this is going to enable you to purchase an item to start or expand your current business. So you've sorted out your budget and you've seen a place where you can divert funds to the debt payoff, and this is the trips to the coffee shop for your espresso and donut on the way to the office, $10 or so a pop. You've seen that this annually adds up to a significant expense, and your actionable step here could be to invest in a coffee maker for your house, along with a portable cup that will fit nicely into the cup holder in your car. So number 1, you will be making your own coffee for pennies now, and 2, you will take a further step in breaking the habit by changing the drive route. This way you will avoid the sight of the shop, which is going to be a trigger for cravings that will come up for that sugary white flour donut so bad for you. And before long, the old habit will be overwritten and you will have satisfied the desire for the coffee pick-me-up. And then when you're able to make that purchase for the new gear that you want, you're going to feel really great. You're going to feel a sense of satisfaction that you can actually control yourself and find solutions and achieve an objective. This is a workable system for making changes that have impact and last. So make enough of these small changes and you'll see massive difference. Little things add up to big things. Thank you so much for being here. Every week we put out new content to inspire and encourage you on your journey. So don't go without subscribing and look for the blessings. They're all around us. Bye-bye.